Yo, what's going on, you savage folks out there? Gonna do a quick GME video. What a day. Watching this stock since January 22nd. Okay? January 22. I believe, in my opinion, this was one of the biggest victorious days of GME stock in this whole... Sure, Roaring Kitty made his millions and millions and millions, blah, blah, blah. A lot of folks did. A lot of people did. This one, where we're at in this stage of a game with GME, middle of September here basically, all the rules, regulations coming out, and for these guys, the second, I told this on my AMC video, but I was watching, I had the earnings call up on my phone, and on my TV, I was looking at the line. And I wanted to pay close attention to it because I remembered last time, the last earnings call, they shorted this thing 30-something%, 31, 32% or whatever, right after earnings call. Dropped from 320-something bucks all the way down in the low 200s, 210, 212, whatever it was. Monster dump, end of earnings. So I'm listening to the earnings call. I've got the line up on my big, huge television here, and the second, we all know about the earnings call, GME earnings call, straight to the point. The other thing I'm going to touch on in this video is the shitball media and what they said about GameStop. I have read probably over 40 articles, or found 40 turd articles, everybody bashing the earnings call. It wasn't long enough. They didn't give us anything except for a couple of new leases. These guys, stock analysts, media, whatever, trying to put the absolute FUD, garbage. It gets thicker by the day. The farther we're winning, and I'm going to show proof of that in this damn video, it's crazy. These guys know exactly what's going on, right? They're trying to get the naked eye, the naked person that's going to go Google GameStop earnings and blah, blah, blah. They're not going to just rush out and buy a $200 share of GME. They're going to look back at this. If you woke up out of a cave a year ago and looked at and said, okay, let me take a look at GME, and it's at $200, you go, holy shit, what the hell happened here? You're not going to buy it. You got to know why. The reason why this thing went from $2 up to $200, and all of the madness that's gone along in the way, right? So I'm kind of rambling off on a sidetrack note here, but long story short, the second that 8-10 minute earnings call was over, the second, as we know yesterday, immediate drop down to 178, whatever the hell we hit in that type of range, right? And then today, to have this thing come back, the savagery, even the $20 gain, it's the whole psychological thing. They geared up for this. They knew exactly when they were going to blast this thing down the second that earnings call hung up, and boy, oh boy, did the GME ape show up for today. That was outstanding. Very, very proud of it. That's got to be a big psychological thing to these hedgies over there. I mean, good night of living. But long story short, we only dropped the difference. I think it was 20-something% difference between last earnings call drop of that 30 whatever percent it was. I think roughly 31, 32%. You guys correct me if I'm wrong. But a monster drop. Took a while to recover. Today dropped, immediately recovered. Look at that chart. Right out of the gate. Back to right a little bit below 200 buckaroos. So absolutely outstanding. Good job, you savages. This one here, just taking a Google on GME stock. I was really curious yesterday, right after the earnings call, on what kind of BS, fudge, shill nonsense we would see, right? Normal. We've been looking at this for 10 months now on the BS articles, right? They're not long enough. All of this blah, blah, blah. I counted up 40-something turds that I just glanced at. Basically the same reason. You know, not much was mentioned. The real reason why GME tanked, blah, blah, blah. Then you bring it over to this. We got turd 1 and turd 2 here. I want to break this thing down with you guys in case you have not seen that. Let's take a listen here.
Shares under pressure this morning. The drop coming even though the video game retailer posted better than expected quarterly revenues and a much narrower loss than a year earlier. The meme stock, though, isn't a stranger to huge swings. Its previous quarterly release was followed by a 27% drop during one session. Joining us right now is Anthony Chakaba. He's the managing director at Loop Capital. Good morning to you. I don't know.
Morning.
I don't know. I thought we were going to, I don't know if I thought the earnings were going to be better, but I thought we were going to hear something on this conference call about the future of the company. And I didn't hear much. Jim Cramer was tweeting out about it last night. I heard, that they were going to, increase warehouse space. That's pretty much where we're at.
First of all, they're not going to give information on the earnings call. Ryan Cohen is probably the smartest man. One of the smartest man. I put that guy up there with the Elon Musk type of folk. Just not even Elon level. Just a very, very smart man, right? So they're not going to give dudes like you dickheads here a bunch of information so you can go out. You're going to spin this thing to this type of shit, right? So they're not going to give you anything you want to hear. That whole thing was done the way it was done for a reason.
I mean, that earnings call was shameful. I mean, absolutely, positively shameful. This is a company that is in the midst of this massive turnaround. And what do we get? We get a couple minutes of comments. There's no color whatsoever in terms of the results. There's no color whatsoever in terms of what the strategy is going to be going forward. They don't take any questions whatsoever. It is shameful. It was disrespectful to their shareholders. And it just astounded me, quite frankly.
Okay, real quick. That was triple over-exaggerated by this dude, Mr. Loop Capital. And trust me, we're going to touch on Loop Capital, just who they are, where they are, who they know, and what in the hell is going on. So, triple over-exaggerated.
I don't know where to go after that. I mean, I think the big question for those who are in it, those who are believers, is whether there's a case to be made that this could work out in their favor. I mean, look, I like to think we're all rooting for GameStop. I think you'd want, look, I want all companies to succeed. The question at this point is I think more than anything, a valuation.
The valuation is nonsensical. And at some point, let's just call it what it is. The emperor has no clothes. I know Ryan Cohen, founded Chewy and sold it for $1 gajillion. He's got at least three zeros in his net worth more than I do. But at the end of the day, this is Eddie Lamper with Sears all over again. At some point, we're going to have to come to the realization that the emperor has no clothes. There is no strategy. There's no turning this business around. And it's nonsensical that the valuation is $15 billion.
There's no strategy. I think there's plenty of strategy, as we all know. Yeah.
At this point, is there anything that they could tell you that would change your mind at all? I mean, there's an interesting piece that effectively says, look, this is actually now just a well-funded startup. By the way, there's other well-funded startups out there.
The difference between a startup and GameStop is that startups, their sales grow really, really fast and they lose money, but you can see visibility to them making money. I see none of that with GameStop. Yes, their sales were up because we're really early in a video game console cycle, but this is a razor and a razor blade business, right? You don't really make any money on the consoles. You make money on selling the software, and more gamers are downloading the software. And so the razor blade sales are not going to be there. So to liken this to an internet startup is an insult to internet startups.
Wow. Okay, fair value for GameStop right now. It's trading at $185.
I mean, my last valuation was $10 a share, and I haven't covered the company for quite some time, but there's nothing to make me think that it's worth any more than that. For this stock to have a $15 billion valuation is the dumbest thing I've heard in quite some time.
So you just think all these people, Anthony, I will tell you, I mean, I don't know if you have a Twitter handle because the hate is going to come. You and I actually have a somewhat similar view, though.
Oh, yeah, the hate's going to come. We got to find this dude on Twitter. We're going to touch on his little company here in just a minute, Mr. Loop Capital himself here.
I'm rooting for the company and that I'd like to see it work. I just don't know how it's going to work. For my money, I've always thought, that Ryan Cohen thought maybe he could take a $10 company and turn it into a $30 or $40 company. I think at $185, it's actually created its own complication for him. I just wonder what you tell the folks who are on Reddit right now, probably watching us, saying, the suits are after us.
Yeah, I mean, look, first off, I'm not on Twitter or Instagram
God bless
or
you.
really anything. And I've already gotten the death threats, so that's nothing new. What I will tell these people is sell the stock first and ask questions later. Look, I know it's very exciting, to the moon, diamond hands, all that type of stuff, but that's not how stocks work, okay? In the short term,
He doesn't have a Twitter or Reddit or nothing, right? But did you just hear his quotes? To the moon, diamond hands. Where'd you hear that at, goofball?
stocks are weighing machines, and are voting machines, and long term they're weighing machines. And what I mean by that is at some point stock prices have to reflect the fundamentals of the business. They have to reflect reality. That hasn't happened for quite some time with GameStop, but eventually it will.
The Eddie Lampert of retail. Yeah. Anthony, just keep an eye out today. Just stay safe, as they say. We appreciate you joining us.
Good God, what an absolute joke. So Mr. Chewbacca here, let's just take a look at his Loop Capital over here. Let's take a look at the website first. Look at this turd. This is about a cheapest $5.99 a month Loop Capital here. Here's their nice, beautiful website. Looks like they got it off of, what's that, GoDaddy or something? Look at this absolute turd of a website, right? Let's go over to locations. And I did take a look at this earlier. Chicago. They are basically on the same block as Citadel. And that's where Mr. Chewbacca, whatever, is located at. Yeah, I wonder there. And then you just do a quick Google search on these fine folks. Loop Capital, there's their turd website, right? loopcapital.com. AMC shareholders are making a huge mistake. Remember, this is a different article here posted on 7/9 CNBC. Loop Capital says about AMC. Oh, the other meme stock. Oh, yeah. So we're talking about that as well, right? So not much on these old boys over here. Kind of reminds me of, what was that iceberg lettuce that was supposedly short GME, AMC? Yeah. I mean, they got to really try a little bit harder, you guys. No one, and I repeat, no one, sir, is going to sell this stock now and ask questions later. These guys held through held through 40 bucks, 200, 180, 150, 300, Stop, please. Shout out to the boys over on Super Stonkosaurus 69 Cayman. Look at this here. I like his heading here on this thing. What does it say? Can't get back to the damn thing. Anyway, yeah, notable decliners intraday. He basically said that they maybe put this ticker or this up before they actually a little bit early in the game, figuring GME was not going to recover after this, right? Notable decliners: 10 Cent, Boston Beer, and then GameStop. Oh shit, we have a little bit of a green here, and I'm sure when they put this together, this probably was at 180, 184, whatever. Yeah, boy. And then another thing, you guys, on the way out, look what I just found. Our Tits-Up-Tracker now has a Tits-Up-Tracker. In case you savages did not see this, you can keep track of the daily reverse repo purchase agreements. Look at all these $1 trillion here. 1 trillion. Remember, we hit a trillion, then we kind of 980, 950. Basically the same thing as a trillion in my book. From August 10, we are 1 month of over a trillion. Tick, tick, ticky tock, ticky tock. Okay, guys, if you're new to me over here, I normally will do some AMC videos. Subscribe if you would like to. That would be super awesome. Like the video. Just was so jacked up about GME today, I decided to make a video. Good job, everyone. You savage apes. I love you all. Very good work today.